gas-powered cars are officially on life support, and it's all thanks to Toyota. For years, electric vehicles were seen as something futuristic, expensive, and mostly out of reach. But Toyota? They've just flipped the entire script. Not only did they launch a fully electric SUV, but they've priced it so low, it might actually kill gas cars. So how did they pull it off? What does it mean for Tesla? And could this be the beginning of the end for internal combustion altogether? Stick around, because we're breaking down the strategy, the tech, and the seismic industry shakeup Toyota just caused. Let's dive into how Toyota just shocked the entire EV world. Toyota has officially launched an electric SUV with a price tag that almost feels too good to be true, just $11,300. That's not a typo. This isn't just another car release. This is a milestone in automotive history. Electric vehicles have always had a certain reputation: sleek, high-tech, but mostly reserved for wealthier buyers or EV fanatics. Tesla pioneered this image with their cutting-edge tech and premium pricing. But let's be real, most people can't afford to drop $40,000 or more on a new car. Toyota, however, didn't rush into the EV game like its competitors. While everyone else was sprinting toward electrification, Toyota was playing a patient, deliberate game. They kept focusing on hybrids, safe, reliable, and efficient. Critics called them outdated. They said Toyota was falling behind. But in reality, Toyota was waiting for the right moment to make their move. And now, that moment is here. With this stunningly low-priced electric SUV, Toyota didn't just enter the EV market, they may have leapfrogged to the front of the pack. Here's why this is a big deal. For years, car buyers were stuck between two options: either spend a premium on an EV or settle for a cheaper gas-powered vehicle. That decision just got a lot easier. By introducing an EV that's even cheaper than many gas-powered cars, Toyota has effectively removed the biggest barrier to entry: price. This kind of affordability doesn't just shake things up, it forces the entire industry to react. We're talking about a potential price war among automakers that could bring EV prices crashing down across the board. But Toyota isn't just slashing prices for attention. There's a deeper strategy at work here, one that's quietly brilliant. So how does a global automaker like Toyota release an electric SUV for just over 11 grand? Sounds impossible, right? But there are three big reasons why this worked. First, Toyota didn't do it alone. They partnered with GAC, or Guangzhou Automobile Group, a major Chinese car manufacturer known for their ability to produce high-quality vehicles at incredibly low costs. This partnership opened the door to massive cost savings through shared platforms, cheaper labor, and access to efficient production lines. Second, Toyota switched up the battery game. Most electric cars use lithium-ion batteries, which often contain cobalt, an expensive and controversial material. Toyota, however, went with lithium iron phosphate LFP batteries. These are cheaper to produce, last longer, and still offer solid range and performance. That one change alone slashes a huge chunk of the manufacturing cost. And third, Toyota brought their signature efficiency into the mix. No one does large-scale production quite like Toyota. With decades of lean manufacturing experience under their belt, they've mastered the art of building more with less. That means lower costs, without sacrificing quality. But here's the kicker. Despite the low price, this isn't a basic economy car, not even close. What you actually get for $11,300, you'd probably expect a vehicle at this price to be tiny, minimal, maybe even a bit boring. But Toyota defied all expectations. This is a full-size SUV. Let that sink in. It comes with a massive 14-inch touchscreen, larger than what you'll find in many luxury cars. It also includes advanced driver assist features, like adaptive cruise control, lane keeping, and emergency braking. The interior? Surprisingly upscale, with ambient lighting, wireless charging, and enough passenger room to rival a Toyota RAV4. Basically, it's not just affordable, it's better equipped than a lot of gas-powered cars at the same price. Let's be honest, Toyota isn't turning a profit on this car. In fact, they're probably losing hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars on every single unit they sell. On the surface, it looks like financial madness. But in reality, it's one of the boldest business strategies we've seen in the auto industry in years. This isn't just about selling cars, it's about owning the future. By launching an $11,300 EV, something no major automaker has dared to do, they're making a clear statement. We're not just here to compete, we're here to dominate. And here's how the plan unfolds. First, they flood the streets with affordable, feature-packed EVs. These cars become the default choice for budget-conscious buyers, taxi fleets, delivery companies, and first-time EV owners. Then, the real money kicks in. Over-the-air software updates that unlock new features. Think extra driving modes, better navigation, or even autonomous driving upgrades. Subscription services like connected safety tech, advanced infotainment packages, or premium performance settings. And most importantly, brand loyalty, because once someone buys into Toyota's EV platform, they're far more likely to stick with the brand for future models, maintenance, and upgrades. Now let's talk about the giant in the EV room, Tesla. For over a decade, Tesla has been the undisputed king of the electric vehicle market. They weren't just first, they were cool. Cutting-edge tech, futuristic design, autopilot features, and a fan base so loyal it feels more like a cult than a customer base. But there's one big problem. Tesla isn't cheap. Even their so-called affordable option, the base Model Y, starts at over $40,000. And that's before taxes, fees, or any extras. Compare that to Toyota's newly launched EV, which comes in at just $11,300. That's not just a small price gap, it's a massive canyon. So here's the dilemma Tesla now faces. They've built their entire empire on high margins and premium positioning. That's what keeps their investors happy, their stock high, and their innovation engine running. But now, with Toyota undercutting them by 2/3 of the price, they're stuck. If Tesla tries to slash prices to compete, they destroy their margins. Profits drop. Stockholders panic. If they don't cut prices, they risk losing the very market they said they wanted to reach. The everyday driver, the teacher, the delivery driver, the parent who just wants an affordable EV that works. Basically, Tesla is staring down a no-win situation. They either bleed financially or surrender ground to a competitor that knows exactly how to scale production and win over the masses. And remember, this is Toyota we're talking about. The same company that turned the Prius into a household name. The same company with decades of experience dominating the global market. So while Elon Musk is busy tweeting about Mars and AI, Toyota is quietly doing something far more disruptive. Making electric vehicles boringly affordable and terrifyingly practical. For Tesla, this isn't just competition, it's their worst nightmare coming true. The death of gas cars? Let's take a step back and look at the big picture. What happens when an electric vehicle isn't just cleaner, but also cheaper to buy, easier to maintain, and better equipped than its gas-powered counterpart? It's simple economics and common sense. Gas cars start to look like outdated tech. Think about it. If you're running a taxi service or managing a delivery fleet, and you can save thousands every year on fuel and maintenance, why stick with gas? If you're a budget-conscious family shopping for your next vehicle, and the EV has more features for less money, why wouldn't you switch? Once that shift begins, it snowballs. Gas stations, traffic slows down, oil companies, profits take a hit. Governments with 2035 gas car bans, they might start moving those deadlines forward, not back. We could be witnessing a true tipping point, not just a change in technology, but a historic transformation of how the world drives. But there's still one major speed bump left: charging infrastructure. Sure, EVs are getting cheaper, but can everyone actually charge one easily? Not yet. Public chargers are still limited in many places, and fast charging networks aren't nearly where they need to be to handle a surge of new EV drivers. But here's the thing. Toyota's move puts massive pressure on governments, cities, and companies to build out infrastructure faster. If affordable EVs flood the market, the demand for charging stations will explode, and so will investment in new networks. So yes, charging is still a challenge, but it won't be for long. Should you buy this $11,300 EV if you mostly drive around the city or have access to charging at home? This is a no-brainer. It's affordable, it's fully electric, and it comes with features you'd expect in a car twice the price. If you're someone who regularly takes long road trips, it might be worth waiting a little longer as the charging infrastructure catches up. But even then, it's hard to ignore just how game-changing this release is. Toyota didn't just release a new car, they launched a movement. They've made electric cars more accessible than ever before. They've forced Tesla and others into a corner, and they've signaled the beginning of the end for gas-powered vehicles. This isn't just a win for Toyota, it's a wake-up call for the entire industry. So what do you think? Would you buy this $11,300 electric SUV, or is it still too soon to ditch your gas car? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think.